こんにちは。Today I am starting part 2 of 比較形 comparison sentence patterns. So just as I explained to you about the difference between 英語 and 日本語, English, the adjective changes as you try to describe the difference between there's a big robot and there's a bigger robot, and there is a biggest robot. So big, bigger, biggest. You are trying to compare single robot versus between the two robots and between the group of three or more, multiple robots. And you can say among the choices of three or among the choices of whatever, you have the biggest robot. So when you are comparing with the different numbers, as in comparison, to compare, you would change the adjective in 英語. However, in 日本語, it does not change. So how do you say to compare in 日本語? This is a difficult technical term to say comparison form. To say simply to compare is 比べます. It is the same kanji for he, just like the katakana he, because the he comes from this kanji. The katakana. Yeah, it's a fragment of this part of the kanji. But 比べます is to compare. So it says part 2 because there's part 1. Let's just start right off. When you are trying to compare between two items, how do you start the sentence? So you want to start with the two topics. If you have two robots, これとこれ. But I am lifting up these two things. 週末 weekend と. This is a good kanji to know. 平日 weekday. I hope you write it down. 週末 is weekend. I think you know it already, but weekday you may not know this yet. So let's write it down. 平日 平日. Now, to complete the question sentence, you go like this. 平日と no. 週末と平日 or 平日と週末. The order doesn't matter. どちらの方がいいですか or どちらの方が好きですか or どっちの方がいいですかどっちの方が好き So どっち is a casual form of どちら which one, which choice. So when you're using どっち or どちら you only have two choices. So if you have three or more choices, you cannot use どちら. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video and transition to another website. And this side is copyrighted. So I won't be able to play the sound, but I'm just going to guide you through the video that it's played on the website. And I will paste the link at the bottom of the video. You should probably watch it. So this is a well-known website called Eringa Chosen. It's done by Japan Foundation. The textbook is also written or authored by Japan Foundation editors or writers. This is a comparison pattern, and it's lesson 18. 比べて. Remember, 比べます. So 言います is to say, right? Say it after comparing. So this main character, I am not playing the video, the sound, because it gets sanctioned by a YouTube copyright. So I'm just going to play and I'll explain to you with my own voice. That way I think I can get away with it. So this main character girl, Erin, is saying, その方が可愛い. Okay, why do I do the anime voice with this photo frame? So she's choosing between two photo frames, and she says something, の方が可愛い. So, の方が可愛いです is what you want to write it down. So in this case, it's そうの方。But in this case, 黄色い靴と黒い靴。どちらの方が、どちらが大きいですか？黒い靴の方が大きいです。So it's の方が。黒い靴が大きいです。It's just black pair of shoes. Black shoes are big. But you need to make sure that you're saying comparing. So の方が is the thing that you need to say. How about a little bit more? Maybe, what about, oh yeah. Banana versus watermelon. バナナとスイカはどちらが重いですか？スイカの方が重いです。スイカは重いです。スイカ is heavy, but you need to be able to say which one is heavier, right? So look at this map. エリンからバス停、エリンから駅、どちらの方が近いですか？バス停の方が近いです。How about this one? 土曜日と日曜日、どっちの方が忙しいですか？ Obviously, 日曜日 has a lot more schedule written, so 日曜日の方が忙しいです。This is a very good example sentence, but they are all about noun comparison words, right? Between 土曜日、日曜日, between 駅 and バス停, between スイカ and banana, between, what was that? 黒い靴と黄色い靴. So they're all just between the noun items. So I'm going to go over something more than just comparing two nouns in the next video. No, continuing. Okay, so the Erin's website had pretty simple but good comparison sentences, but they were all noun words, just like here. So 週末、平日. I want you to write it down, this especially 平日. 平日 means weekdays. So どちらの方がいいですか? So I am trying to guide you through how to ask a question to compare two items. Just like the Erin's website, you are going to start with the two topics because you're just comparing two items, right? So between the weekend and the weekday, you're just going to connect with the と。週末と平日。平日と sometimes you put the と you don't have to do it all the time. 週末と平日 that's fine. Or 週末と平日とどちらの方がいいですか or どちらの方が好きですかどっちの方がいいですかどっち is more casual form. And you would answer by saying a few things. But so I'm going to kind of give you how to begin the comparison sentence step by step. So first, how you're comparing is determined by what kind of adjective you want to use. いいですか? 好きですか? Yeah, 嫌いですか? Whatever the adjective that you are going to describe your preference. And then target the item that you're going to choose. Oh, this one is, I like it better, or this one is tastier, or this one is more interesting. You're going to know which one to choose. Then you go something, の方が adjective です. Notice there is a の because if it's 週末 or 平日, it's a noun. Both of them are noun words. You cannot forget to add the の. Whereas I put the 3-2 because I am going to explain to you later on how to write a comparing sentences between the two actions, like going out on weekdays versus going out on weekends. That's a slightly different question, is it, right? So plain form verb ending, 方が. So at that time, because it's, it's just, you just kind of have to know, plain form ending, you don't need that, no. Beware. Okay? And then if you want to add to make it like clear your answer. Usually you just go your choice only の方が、but then you can add something より like 平日より週末の方が好きです。A lot of people agree with that, would agree with me, I'm sure. But this yori thing, my point here is you can go in front of の方が clause versus you can add 週末の方が平日より好きです。You can actually swap the position. So that's another thing that you might want to take a notice of that. Okay, so preference related adjective いいです。よくないです。好きです。好きじゃないです。嫌い。嫌いじゃないです。楽です。楽 is easy in terms of labor intensity. 大変です。大変じゃないです。面白いです。面白くないです。or つまらないです。Yeah, there's so many other things that you can say, but these are the basic adjective. And let's say you're like, whichever, I don't really care, or like I don't even have too much of a preference. Then you go, どちらでもいいです。週末も平日もいいです。私はいつでもいいです。That's how you answer. But these two words, どちらかといえば. And then other one is ずっと。どちらかといえば週末の方がいいです。どちらかといえば if I had to choose one, then I would choose 週末. So this is a very good phrase. Yeah. And the other one is if you want to emphasize, oh, are you kidding? 週末 is way, way better. Then you would go 週末の方がずっといいです。So these two expressions, please, please, please start using it. Now, I'm going to list some of the French sentences actually were listed in Edding website. So take a listen.
ここは夏の景色の方が綺麗です。
So this one is only listing the choice that the person is choosing. ここは夏の景色の方が綺麗です。We don't know what this person is comparing 夏の景色 to. It could be 冬の景色. It could be 秋の景色. We don't know, but who cares? Because what the person is trying to say is 夏の景色 is so beautiful, right? And second sentence, same thing. Take a listen.
今月の方が忙しいです。
This month is way, way busier. We don't know if this person is comparing to next month or last year, the same month. We don't know. Okay, these two, 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences, this sentence is listing both choices.
日本ではドラえもんの方がナルトより有名です。
Doraemon is the character and Naruto is also an anime character. And they're both famous, but in Japan, Doraemon, because he's been around longer than Naruto, I guess it's more famous, I could say. They could say. For me, Naruto is probably more famous among the gaijin anime fans. Yeah. And yeah. Okay, next one.
弟より妹の方が背が高い。
Yeah. As you can see, who's taller? 妹。
地下鉄の方がバスより便利です。
どっちの方が便利ですか？地下鉄の方が便利です。
仕事より体の方が大切です。
どっちの方が大切ですか？体の方が。体 it means body, but it mainly means health. Yeah. So these are really good sentences. Now, these 3 sentences, first 2, I need to explain. So this guy is saying, what? So 大きいのと小さいのとどちらがいいですか? If you just hear the sentence, if you don't know the context, you don't know what the heck you're talking about. Maybe I have some onigiri or rice bowl in front of me, and then I'm asking someone to pick one. Do you want the big one or a small one? And you would say, 大きい方がいいです。So no is replacing something that you're not seeing, but I'm seeing it, or whoever the person who's being asked can see it. So no replaces that noun. 綺麗 な no, same thing, no. If it's an adjective, you're going to have to add the な。美味しい方が、いいです。But when you're answering with the な adjective, 綺麗な方がいいです。You need to leave the な out. Tricky. And these are, 座って食べるのと立ち食いとどっちがいい？ Mixing up. I want you to beware. I'm probably going to bring this sentence back up later on. 座って食べる sit down style of meal versus standing up. In Japan, 立ち食い restaurant is very common. You eat or drink while you're standing up. I don't know if it's good for your health. But a lot of busy businessmen tend to do that eating style. And if you want to choose a standing up, 食べる方がいいです。Notice there's no. 立ち食いの方がいいです。There is no because 立ち食い is a noun word. All right, so take a note of that. Now, these are for high school students who are watching this video, and I am listing all the compare and contrast article topic under the AP Japanese exam. And I am going to use some of these sentence thing in the next video, but opening statement, just kind of come up with the same thing, same pattern. These are all that you can use のとのを比べてみたいと思います。比べます。比べようと思います。So plain form verb phrase is what's coming up in the part 3. So I will see you later. さよなら。